This is the story of the Ugly Duckling. In a quaint country village on the water's edge, there lived a mother duck who sat on her nest, patiently waiting to hatch her ducklings. Soon the eggs cracked and out popped 6 tiny heads. The mother duck felt very proud until she looked at her last duckling. Oh my, he wasn't at all like the others. His bill was long and crooked, and drab gray feathers stuck out in all directions on his misshapen little body. He was really an ugly duckling. Now, when the mother duck took her little ones to meet the other ducks in the yard, they poked fun at the odd-looking duckling. They teased him and bit him. Even his own brothers pushed him about and refused to play with him. This made the ugly duckling so unhappy, he decided to run away. The poor ugly duckling had many adventures in the months that followed. For one thing, he joined a flock of wild ducks who were entranced by his ugliness. And then one day, the ducks were shot down by hunters. But when the hunters' dogs caught sight of the ugly duckling, they turned and scampered away. "I'm so ugly, even a dog won't bite me," thought the lonely little duckling. As the days grew colder, the duckling grew sadder. He would just sit in the marshes and watch the beautiful swans flap their white wings and fly south to warmer climates. And soon the water began to freeze and surround the ugly duckling with blocks of ice. It would really be too sad to tell of all the suffering the ugly duckling had to bear during the long winter months. But somehow he managed to pull through it. When the spring came, he sat quietly in the marshes, glad at least to feel the warm sun again. After a while, he lifted his wings, which seemed ever so much stronger now, and they whisked him off to a huge garden. Now the ugly duckling was beginning to take courage, until he noticed the lovely white swans flying back from the south. The sight of these beautiful birds reminded him of his ugliness all over again. "I'll fly to these big swans," thought the duckling. "They'll pull me to pieces because I'm so ugly. But I'd rather die than live in misery all the time." So the ugly duckling flew into the pond and swam toward the swans. As he bowed his head in readiness, lo and behold, he saw his image in the water. At first he couldn't believe his eyes. So he looked again. Yes, it was true. He was no longer a misshapen, ugly gray duckling with a crooked bill. He was a beautiful swan with smooth white wings and a long, slender neck. The big swans gathered around him and stroked him with their bills, as if to welcome him into the fold. And then some children ran into the garden, and as soon as they discovered the new swan, they clapped their hands in joy. And when he saw them point to him and heard them say that this was the most beautiful of all the swans, he raised his grateful white neck in thankfulness and thought, "How fortunate I am. I once was an ugly duckling, and I never dreamed I could find such happiness."